to the Canadian Reformer, and today we've got David Wright here as our special guest, returning guest from Digging Up the Bible.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming. Special episode as part of the evangelism series that we're starting is Halloween. Halloween's kind of a touchy subject, or there's lots of different perspectives on it, but I think a lot of Christians have come to this question of how Christians should think about Halloween. It's on the calendar, it's every year, and you might hear different things of how you participate or how you celebrate Halloween. I spoke with you not too long ago about this, and we're not like the same, absolutely the same perspective on it, but maybe why don't you share a little bit about what have you learned about Halloween over the years? What have you kind of done with it, and what do you do now?
To me, and this was in this book, Way of the Master, he actually talked about that Halloween is a great opportunity to share the gospel with people, because instead of you going and knocking on their door and them rejecting you, they're actually coming to your door and hoping for something. So I give them something. And so one of the things that I do is with the chocolates that I give out, which I do, I give them chocolates, but I also give them a little token with like John 3:16 or some other Bible verse on it. And some of it has the actual Bible verse written on it. So that, and then the other thing I have is I also have on the back of it a little QR code, so that they could click on it and then be connected to the video that has the gospel given to them. So that's my little thing. And then also they have these special gospel tracts that people publish. So every year I buy some of those tracts, and then I give those out with the candies, and it's for the kids. And my wife is a little concerned about this because she's worried what the neighbors will do. Like, what if somebody gets mad, right? And so, well, I'm ready for that. But but it has never happened. Yep. Because just like people are afraid to share the gospel, people are also afraid to come knock on your door and get mad at you for sharing the gospel too. That's a little step too far, I think. I don't know. It just hasn't happened. Maybe this year it'll happen. And then there's one third thing that I do. I have these.
Oh, you brought it.
Yeah. I have these little. People put these things that you can buy that say "Beware," and they have skulls on them. So I like to point people to the fact that, you're right. You are going to die. And then what is waiting for you after you die? So this guy is Satan. It's hot down here, because that's where he is. He's down in hell. Okay, so that's why I do some little things like that, like this one here. So I was here. That was supposed to be somebody's name. Now up there. So this person this person's going to heaven, right? So and then this one was Eden Om, because this person is heading home. So this has got a little halo because they're going up to heaven. And so I do these things and I know this has sort of a reaction because in our neighborhood, it's kind of insane. The kids will come trick-or-treating even in their high teens. I think we've had 18-year-olds come to the door. And so, yeah, I'm just like, oh, are you too old for trick-or-treating? But so then this one says, the end is here, and then there's arrow pointing down, and then I have some little bones and stuff. So all these things are really creepy, but the fact is, I didn't bring it up. I didn't bring up all of this preoccupation with skulls and all that kind of stuff. So it'd be pretty hard for somebody to come to me and complain about me, pointing to the fact that they're going to die and go to hell, or they're going to die and go to heaven. They can't really complain about it because right next door, down the street, they've got bones all over the place. So I figure, hey, if you open the door, then it's fair game for me to, now point you to the fact that, yeah, you are going to die. What are you going to do after you die?
No, that's good. I think I think it's good to also make the distinction between celebrate Halloween versus participate in the events like trick or treating, either going to get candy or handing out candy. So would you distinguish that difference? Like,
I do. And in much as I've sort of like defended my participation in Halloween, I don't celebrate it. Yeah, like I won't, like I've thought about it, like putting up my decorations ahead of time, but I won't. I just feel like I don't want to celebrate in the way that everybody else is. So my decorations just come out on Halloween evening,
okay.
and then I set them all up, and just so that when the people come to the door, now they're going to be hit with it, and if they decide to come to the door or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I have a different perspective,
Right.
and that's okay.
Yes,
it's completely
okay.
Yeah, I think there's doing a little bit of research. I think there's different views within the church, among Christians. But I think what's really important is that you shouldn't just not think about it.
Yeah.
Like, don't just be on the passenger seat, just kind of go with the culture or whatever. So I think if you can be thoughtful about it. So one of the arguments that well, actually, my background was very similar to you in terms of, sometimes there'd be a church event and I just kind of help with that, and people still dress up and we hand out candy. There were times where, yeah, I intentionally went with my friends to like a townhouse strata complex because there's less steps to go to each door, right? So you can hit more
wow.
houses. Yeah, we used to do that.
Very strategic.
Yeah. But I think one of the part that I hear, or one argument that I hear, is that this is there's an opportunity to share the gospel, right? And so therefore you should participate in this way or that way. And so moving to the neighborhood that we're in now, I noticed that the decorations are like really gruesome, right? I think there has been a shift in the culture just from a decade ago, that there is a lot of mockery of death. There's a lot of really horrible decorations. A lot of them over the top, I would say. And then even the costumes, right? The costumes have either gotten very risque or
You mean the
morbid.
Oh yeah.
And there comes a point where it's like, oh, I kind of feel like I should protect my children in some ways, because like just avoiding not driving down that street or whatnot. And I think we would stand out in the fact that we're not participating in Halloween like the other neighbors are. However, that doesn't mean just don't do that. Don't participate and that's it. I think that as neighbors, we should be, in everything that we do, interacting, all our interactions, we should be intentionally trying to share the gospel with them, share our story, share, our life with them in a loving way. And so that should stand out, because when they would pass our house and be like, oh, why isn't this family, I know they have young kids, why aren't they participating in Halloween? We could actually have a conversation about it. And then, yeah, I think there is a bit of that matter of conscience, right? I think there are going to be some Christians where it's like, oh, this is from this pagan origin, or like the way the culture is portraying it. Like, I want nothing to do with it. Maybe some would go as far as, if they're Protestant background, like, this is Reformation Day, we don't even call it Halloween, right? There might be even that crowd. So I think with whatever you are doing on October 31st, I think it's important as Christians to be engaged with the culture. Doesn't mean you have to accept everything, of course not, but have a thoughtful response to what's going on in our culture. And I think if you are going to be handing out treats, like, you're right, absolutely, you have people coming to your door. Why not share the gospel with them? What are you ashamed of? Are you ashamed? Like, this is an incredible opportunity to do that, right? But if you have in your conscience that, I really don't want anything to do with this right now, or, and we could still share the gospel to our neighbors 364 days of the year, then do that really
Right.
well. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. And things could change in the future, but I think if churches want to be intentional about this day, don't just think light of Halloween. Right?
Right.
Have a biblical response to what you're doing.
Yeah.
Are you going to have an alternative day? Well, what is that? Is that still with this candy thing, or is it is it going to be a Reformation Day kind of thing, or whatever it is. I don't think we can just think light of this day and just sort of, kind of, like in a shallow way, Christianize it,
Right.
and just kind of like go with the flow. I think there needs to be like a real deep, thoughtful reason of why our behavior is this way.
Right. Yeah, that's very good. Yeah.